Hello, and today we're going to be taking a look at the comparison between Gran Turismo and Forza. Before I start, let me explain how I got introduced in these games. I played a lot of Need for Speed when I was younger. I used to love playing Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2, and then I got Most Wanted, and then I got Carbon. And then I got Pro Street, but it was terrible. I hated that game, and I just didn't like it. I don't know. No offense to anyone that liked it, but I thought it was terrible. It looked good, but it was just bad. It took away from the original Need for Speed, like street style, and it got like this sim style that wasn't even a simulator. It was stupid. So continuing, my friend, like a year later in 2008, my friend calls me up and tells me about this game, Forza 2. And for the Xbox, and I had an Xbox. I had an Xbox and a PS3, and my friend tells me about the game on the Xbox, and I go, "Well, what's Forza?" And he tells me it's this game that's like realistic and it's a simulator. So I look up a few videos on YouTube, and I got hooked onto it. And the last simulator I tried was Pro Street, so I had a bad opinion on racing games. So whatever, I went to GameStop. It was like $20. It was cheap back then because it was already low on price. It's probably like $5 now. And I have to admit, it was a fun game. I didn't play the career. I jumped right into the multiplayer because that's like the funnest thing about Forza, and I loved it. It was fun. The coolest thing we did was that my friend, there was a hack on Forza that, like, if you make like an account or something, you get like millions of dollars. Well, he did that, and he went on the online marketplace and started buying a bunch of cars. And he bought both of us the Fast and the Furious cars. He bought me the Eclipse, the green Eclipse from Fast and the Furious Part 1. He bought himself the orange Supra from Part 1 also, Fast and the Furious. We used to race them. I think it was like my car had better acceleration, but his had a better top speed or something like that. So like I would always like go further than him, but then he would always slowly pass me because his top speed was higher. It was pretty fun, and we should do races. And I remember one time, we were going against like a 1970s muscle car, like a Challenger or some shit. And I remember my friends like, "Don't bump into him, don't bump into him." I bumped into him, my car went flying, because muscle cars back then were made of like pure fucking steel. And Mitsubishi's made out of like plastic compared to it. And yeah, it was pretty fun. I had some good time in that. Then we just like slowly stopped playing it, and now the game's collecting dust in my room. So after that, I heard Forza 3's coming out, and both me and my friend are hyped. We're like, yes, you're gonna make a Forza 3. It's gonna be awesome. And I'm looking at videos and stuff. It looks good. I never saw the cockpit though, and I'm gonna explain why that's an important factor. I kept seeing how they were stressing on, yeah, we're gonna release cockpits and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So when I looked, I never saw it. It sounds pretty cool. So the demo comes out in like 2009. I try it, and I wasn't impressed. Personally, I was not impressed. Me in my head, I thought this looks exactly like Forza 2. Just with cockpits, and the cockpits don't look that good, to be honest. They didn't look good at all. The guy held the steering wheel like lobster claws. The steering wheel was like 3 times wider than it should be. I mean, you can only see like the dashboard of the cockpit on some cars. It was really bad, and I thought, this doesn't look that good. And once again, I got taken away from simulators. Now, 2 years later, in like February of 2011, my brother tells me about Gran Turismo, and I've known about Gran Turismo. I found out about Gran Turismo from Part 3. My brother's friend a long time ago took it over our house, and I remember playing it a lot, but I didn't get into it. I just played it because it was like pretty fun, but I didn't think of buying it or anything. I was stupid. I should have bought it, but whatever. Then I tried Gran Turismo 5. I saw videos of it, and I'm like, wow, this looks fucking like realistic as hell, and the cockpits look fucking amazing. I mean, it was all awesome. And I was hooked. I go to GameStop, I bought it. Best $60 I've ever spent. That game is amazing. I loved it. It was amazing. I still play it. I have it right now on my PS3. See, I put the volume up. You can even hear the music. So I have it on right now. I just have it off so I can explain this. So what do I like about Gran Turismo? The graphics are freaking impressive. I mean, if you know how to use the photo mode and all that stuff, you can make the game look like it's staring right at you in the face. It looks amazing. The cockpits rape Forza. No offense. I'll even put pictures so you guys don't complain, and you'll see how it really does rape it. Even though I'm gonna be comparing with Forza 4, and I'll explain to Forza 4. What I like about Gran Turismo, it has racing diversity. What do I mean by that? What I'm trying to say is that the game has a bunch of racing modes you can do. You can race at night. You can race in the day. You can race off-road. You can race in snow. You can race in rain, snow, fog, overcast, all that stuff. You can not rain. You can race pretty much anything. You can, do anything you want with the racing types. You can change a certain time of day, so you can play in the morning or afternoon or midday. You can just all do all these things, and it's like amazing. The shadows in the cockpits are like amazing, how they actually move with the sun like in a real car. It's all extremely well detailed. I mean, they did a very good job on the detailing in that game. Yeah, you can argue saying, oh yeah, 800 of the cars are standard, but honestly, all 200 of the cars are what I like. Sorry, Nissan GTR, the Nissan Skyline R34, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. It's everything I like. And yeah, I have standard cars. Don't get me wrong. I have the Eclipse and the Supra. I have a DeLorean. I have to get one. I love DeLoreans. And all that. So I use standard cars too. I was a bit disappointed in the standard car thing, but it just outweighed it. The premium cars just outweighed it, because when I would look at them, I'll be like, wow, they must have taken fucking like years to just do that damn stitch on the steering wheel. Like, wow. I mean, let me show you right here. This is a picture of the F40. Ferrari F40 in Gran Turismo 5. Look at the detail of the cockpit. You see everything. And then Forza, this is Forza 4. This is not Forza 3, this is Forza 4. It looks really simple. All I did was really just like make it shinier to make it look realistic, but I mean, this is like putting a flashlight on Play-Doh. I mean, it doesn't look as good. I mean, look at the difference here. You have freaking high detail cockpits, and then Forza 4 you have mediocre all over the place. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but Gran Turismo steps it up a notch by adding like every stitch and crack in the cockpit. It's ridiculous. The graphics of Gran Turismo 5 are amazing. The physics are like unmatched. And yeah, people argue, oh yeah, Gran Turismo 5, Forza 4 now has the new Lamborghinis and stuff. Well, there's an update coming out soon that the Gran Turismo game is going to have that's going to give it the Lamborghini Aventador, we're going to call it. Aventador, I guess that's how they call it. They're going to release it as a DLC. I'm getting that. I like that car. And, Gran Turismo is improving. They're not going to stop here. They just started. They were arguing about standard cars not having cockpits. They gave them simple cockpits that are good enough for me. They gave the ability of standard cars to have wheels and spoilers and shit. You can do all that stuff. The only thing that if Gran Turismo 5 gets these following features, it'll be a perfect game. The ability for standard cars to get carbon fiber hoods, because you can't do them. The way I get carbon fiber hoods in this game is that you need to go to the tuning section and you buy them. But for some reason, standard cars do not allow you to get carbon fiber hoods. And I'd want to get one because in order to make my Mitsubishi Eclipse to look similar to the one in Fast and the Furious, I need a black hood. Or not black, but carbon fiber hood. I can't do decals, which decals would also be nice in Gran Turismo. But keep in mind, this is a racing simulator, more of a, than a cosmetic game. Though I do like Forza's, looks and stuff. It looks beautiful, some of the cars. But I do prefer Gran Turismo because it's like, it just has the best, the ultimate physics. They said about a month on each car. That's why the game took so long to make. A month. A team of a few people make, a few cars each month. Each team focused on one car. You know, and you can argue saying, oh, the sound effects sound like crap. Well, because on YouTube they usually upload videos of the tuned cars which don't sound anything. I mean, look up a standard Mustang versus a tuned one. They don't sound same at all. You know, Mustang freaking tuned ones have like this roar sound, and the Mustang normal one has this like good sound. Still sounds like a roar, but not as crazy. You know, so I just preferred Gran Turismo because the way how it looks, the way how the game drives. I even have a Logitech Driving Force GT, which makes the game even much better. You know, it's just a fun game. I really don't know how to say it. I used to like Forza, not anymore. That's pretty much the best way to put it. I used to love Forza, but not anymore. It's much better Gran Turismo. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my opinion and how Gran Turismo has better diversity in racing and much better cockpit looks. Thanks for watching.